Well, hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. Hey, we're talking, this is episode, what is it, episode 123, but this is Tabernacle Construction Part 3. Yesterday, I wore my construction hat that I'd be wearing inside if I was doing construction and stuff. I'm wearing my construction hat, this one here today. If you go and see a lot of construction happening outdoors, the guys are wearing hats like this to keep the sun off, especially here in Florida. So you go up to I-75 and stuff, they've got these big hats like this, or they're out there laying sod or doing landscape work or whatever. They're wearing big hats like this to keep the sun off their head, okay? I'm wearing this hat today because what we're looking at today with the Tabernacle Construction is kind of all this outside stuff. It's the stuff not in the tabernacle itself here, this part, but it's all this other stuff on the outside of it, okay? So you'd be out in the sun putting this stuff all together. It's an outdoor area. It's the outdoor courtyard, you might say, okay? So that's why I'm wearing this hat here. And so let's talk about all this. This is Exodus 38. We're looking at verses 1 through 20 today, okay? And it starts out this way. They built the altar. This is the altar of burnt offering, which is right here, okay? So they built the altar of burnt offering of acacia wood, 3 cubits high, and it was a square, and 5 cubits long, and 5 cubits wide. They made a horn at each of the 4 corners so that the horns and the altar were one piece, and they overlaid the altar with bronze. Okay, remember the bronze had significance. You weren't putting gold out here because of the significance. You can go back and look at our other episodes as to why it was bronze and why there was the horns there and all that stuff. Okay, verse 3, they made all the utensils of bronze, its pots, its shovels, its sprinkling bowls, its meat forks, its fire pans. They made a grating of altar and a bronze network to be under the ledge. Halfway up the altar, they cast bronze rings to hold the poles for the 4 corners of the bronze grating. They made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. They inserted the poles into the rings so they would be on the sides of the altar for carrying it. They made it hollow out of boards. Okay? This stuff is all bronze out here. Okay? Inside, the stuff is overlaid with gold. But out here, it's bronze, okay? The basin for washing, which is out here also right here, they made the bronze basin and its bronze stand from the mirrors of the women who served at the entrance to the tent of meeting, okay? Then the courtyard, this which is out here, this whole thing. Next, they made the courtyard. The south side was 100 cubits long and had curtains of finely twisted linen, with 20 posts and 20 bronze bases, and with silver hooks and the bands on the posts. The north side was also 100 cubits long and had 20 posts and 20 bronze bases, with silver hooks and bands on the posts. The west end was 50 cubits wide and had curtains with 10 posts and 10 bases, with silver hooks and the bands of the posts. The east end toward the sunrise was also 50 cubits wide, curtains 15 cubits long, and were on the sides of the entrance with 3 posts and the 3 bases. And the curtains 15 cubits long were on the other side of the entrance of the courtyard with the 3 posts and the 3 bases. All the curtains around the courtyard were of finely twisted linen. The bases of the posts were bronze, the hooks and the bands on the posts were silver, and their tops were overlaid with silver, so that all the posts of the courtyard had silver bands. The curtains of the entrance to the courtyard were made of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and finely twisted linen, the work of the embroiderer. It was 20 cubits long, and like the curtains of the courtyard, 5 cubits high, with 4 posts and 4 bronze bases. The hooks and the bands were silver, and the tops were overlaid with silver. All the tent pegs of the tabernacle and of the surrounding courtyard were bronze. Okay? We conclude there. That is all the outside stuff, okay? Big difference here between the outside stuff and inside. The inside stuff was overlaid with gold. Outside stuff was overlaid with bronze, okay? The gold is a significance of divinity. Divinity was not out here. This is where we had to deal with the sin and stuff in our lives beforehand. So that covers everything. So that's the construction of the tabernacle, this whole tabernacle here. And again, it's kind of the same point as the days before. We don't have to have this tabernacle in town, and we don't have to go to the tabernacle each day, because I have Jesus. Okay, Jesus has done away with the tabernacle, because when he died, this curtain that separated God from man was ripped, and I have access to God, because the sin that I have is now forgiven. So when God looks at me, he doesn't see the sinful man that I am, but he sees Jesus, the purity of Jesus, who is perfect and has taken away my sin, and now he sees me perfected because of Jesus. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through Exodus. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.